set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Seattle.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
So here are the Seahawks now with a long field in front of them.
They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, who burst onto the scene back in 2016 as the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, and now in his 7th NFL campaign.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now Prescott. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. He goes 55 yards on the punt return.
And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now a 7-0 game. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
Taking it about the 36. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. He's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
On 2nd down now. It's done. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. An 18-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll make the score 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And oh, ball deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And I believe he was able to get this back. He was. Boy, after giving up the touchdown, lucky that didn't turn into another.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They run again with Jackson, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
To throw is Prescott. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking on the midfield logo. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Prescott on 1st down. That'll be caught by Biletnikoff. Touchdown! Fred Biletnikoff. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air.
And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target,
and that makes the score 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott under pressure, and they got to him again.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now here's Trenton Gill now.
Fielded at the 43. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. He goes 57 yards on the punt return.
And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one "A Have to Remember," wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Now here's Trenton Gill on to punt.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Play action now. Prescott. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Field goal unit not out there. They won 6 before halftime. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3.
So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter.
And there he goes again. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
He returns the kick 88 yards to the house. And the Steelers open the lead up to 34-0.
Well, they're just having fun. I mean, they are clicking on every single cylinder, offense, defense, and here, special teams.
And how about the extension of the lead? This one felt a lot like, you remember Seattle-Denver Super Bowl 48? Percy Harvin to start the 2nd half. Seattle was already firmly in control. Now, they feel like they can't be caught.
Yeah, they are firmly in control right now.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes this 35-0 now. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They'll start here with Jackson. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Open man here is Gentry. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 36, Prescott. A throw left side, complete to Biletnikoff. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st. From the red zone now, Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Prescott to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. DK Metcalf from 13 yards out. And the Steelers have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Michael Strahan drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He'll take it at the 42. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw caught here by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played three. Back now in Seattle, Washington.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing here. Prescott.
Very quick throw. He's got Myers. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all, but in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard said.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And out now come the Seahawks.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you, what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Fielded at the 33. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down at the 25-yard line. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And out will come the offense as they take over. On first down, Dunn. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Well, Prescott here to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Take it in at the 3. And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 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 I hope y'all can S-double-E, 'cause I need your eyes on me. 'Cause once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can S-T-O-P. Can I make a scene like a movie, feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully. Put in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. Yeah, you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it 'cause I love it, I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen, Captain? I'm strapped in, no, I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting, I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, 'cause here come the pain. No one to call up for help, no one to blame but yourself. You should've known better, however you did it, so we had to come ring your bell. Like I need a award, wait until I score, make it rain till it pour. I'm a dog on fours, put in work like a chore till I'm underneath the floor, in the trenches like a war. If they wanna give them more, when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. 4th down, 4 yards, put it all on the line. I am not worried 'cause it is our time. I hear the crowd in the background, man, they just want to see me shine. For the hell of it, it's irrelevant. You lacking the intelligence to make it make sense. We gon' manifest whatever we came to get. That's a little money and a trophy and nothing they call respect. We don't care who the best, we don't worry who is next. We gon' put the